Hey, it's Ellis Dawson, co-writer, co-creator, co-director, co-showrunner of your new favorite web series for the boys, and I'm here with another installment of The Smoke Session, where we are going to talk about episode 6, and I am joined by the talented, the seductive, the sultry, the comedic.
Hey.
Oh, shit. Oh, who am I talking about?
You talking about her herself.
Oh, I was gonna say Lamont Walker.
Wow, what an introduction.
Who plays Saeed Coleman.
Wow.
And we are also joined with a very special guest, one of my closest friends, the scissor to our insecure.
Come on.
The songbird herself.
Come on, give her flowers.
You know, oh my gosh, please bump her music.
Yes.
Yana, who plays V. Hi. Thank you guys for joining me today to talk about episode 6. There's a lot to unpack here, so I'm just gonna sip on this real quick.
Yeah,
Let's all do a little.
it's a whole ride. It's a
Woo!
whole ride.
All right, so episode 6, we start the episode with this black couple, and then it's revealed that Jamal has been watching it the whole time, and it feels like a dream deferred. He's like, this one could have been, and then Devin walks into frame, right? And this is the first time that we've seen these two together since that famous line, "Who said I wanted all of you?" Oh my gosh, my heart broke for Jamal.
Same.
And you see them have this conversation, it kind of feels like the Royal Rumble or like the Super Bowl. We've been waiting for this moment to see these two people finally hash it out. And you realize shortly after that there are 3 parts to every story. You have one side, the other side, and the truth. And somewhere in there is what actually happened. And we've only seen Devin from Jamal's point of view. And in this episode, Devin has agency. And he talks about what really went down. And we come to find out that Jamal isn't squeaky clean in this. And it really all boils down to me, the bigger picture here is like, I feel like although we're grown folk, we don't know how to communicate.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
And if we did communicate, so many problems would be avoided. How do you guys feel about the communication that happens in relationships?
We're gonna be here all night. I mean, it's endless. I feel like, I know we're all still learning, and 20-somethings into 30s, it's like, we don't have the slightest clue still. So many times, especially with people I care about, I feel like a kid. Like your emotions can just run to the forefront and you forget, like, actually none of us can read minds. I don't care how empathic we think we are. It's like, I have to tell you that hurt me so we can like catch each other.
And not only just like the articulation of the words, but the understanding of the thought. That is, I think, the part where we miss the communication. We think that just because I said it, it's clear, and it's not.
It's like, do you hear me? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you comprehend what I'm telling you about how I feel? Yeah, did it land?
Yeah.
And we don't always take, I think, in relationships, because it's like this weird thing where it's like, I know you, right? Like, I'm supposed to be comfortable with you, so I should just be able to speak my mind.
Right.
But I have to make sure that you understand what I'm saying and that I understand what you feel, how you are receiving it.
Right.
In order for genuine communication to happen, and I think they
didn't do
do that.
it. They didn't do it because
They didn't
at one point Devin says like, I was asking all these things, but you said you didn't want more, but your actions didn't line up to your words.
Right.
So then when your actions started to change, I didn't know what to do, so I kind of backed off. And this whole time, Jamal was like moving forward, did not explain to him anything that he explains in this episode. They finally, I feel like this is the first time, however long they've known each other, it's been 4 months since they've seen each other, but this is the first time that they actually see each other.
Yeah.
See each other.
See each other.
Exactly. See each other.
Truly.
Right. So we have this conversation. They have this conversation, and then Jamal breaks into something that I'm sure we all deal with, being African American, being black in America. Jamal starts talking about how he doesn't see the representation of black on black love in mainstream media, and I feel like and the issue is that he feels like what he's always wanted for himself is direct conflict into what he really wants. And he's like, this is why this wasn't working for me. This is why I pushed you away. It's not because of my friends, it's because of this thing that I've always said I wanted. And it's not necessarily what he wanted. It's what he decided that he was going to do for his people, for us, by us, right? I know me as an artist, we're all artists here. I do my work for my people, but I feel like that is such a heavy burden to carry by yourself.
Yeah.
He's missing out on happiness because he's like, I saw myself this way, and it's important. That representation is definitely important, and it's needed, and that's why Makai and I wrote it, and that's why it's said. But he's also denying himself what he really wants. Has there ever been a time in your life where you've been like, denied yourself of something for the betterment of your people because you feel like this is my burden to carry, this is my cross to bear, I'm doing this for my people? Is that necessary? I don't know many other races that do that, but black people, for the most part, we ride for each other.
I think obviously I'm a black man, but I would argue that any other minority group.
Minority, exactly. Sorry.
That pressure.
Scratch the record, yep.
Feels that pressure to like do something for their people.
Right.
To be an example for their people. I think also in the time that we're living in today, we understand the power of representation.
Right.
And we understand that being afforded the access to show somebody something, we have to be a representation for other people to see. Genuinely though, I hope that we find our own love. Regardless of what other people expect or what other people put on us, we find our own love, whether that comes black, white, yellow, blue.
Right.
But there are cultural things that make love hard. Love isn't easy black on black. Like, love is hard regardless.
And then add the gay on top of that?
Oh my God.
Oh my Lord.
All of our trauma, everything that we've gone through.
Humans are hard.
Humans are hard. Yeah.
And so I think that it's kind of inevitable that there will be failure in trying to do something for other people and not tapping into yourself and what you want. Yes, you should be a representation, but ultimately, you gotta live your life for you, and you living your life authentically will be some representation for somebody out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm not asking Saeed, I'm asking Lamont. Do you think... that
was Lamont, y'all.
No. So do you think, this is why I said that, I prefaced it because do you think that Jamal is doing himself a disservice by the way that he's navigated this situation from jump?
I mean, I'm happy he's having this conversation because sometimes it's not until those like hard talks and those head-on realities that we're faced with our own shit.
Yeah, of course.
Thank God.
Fuck, shit, ass, bitch. Let's go.
Hey, bitches. I feel like until you're hit with those like that cold hard reality of like I messed up, and even in conversations facing a lover, you don't realize how much you glossed over even for yourself, how much you were like over functioning to disregard your own truths. So I feel like.
So you do think he's doing himself a disservice?
I mean, aren't we all when we push for something just because we want to make it work so bad? I think we unintentionally do ourselves disservices all the time, and like that's why we need our friends and our families and our lovers to reflect back to us our own shit.
Absolutely.
You know, because they want the best for us too.
Yeah. And the last little bit I want to touch on this part of the episode is within that he also talks about the exhaustion that it would take to be in this relationship where it's like we are two very different people. The world will always see us differently. If I get pulled over and you get pulled over, those are two very different things. You get to walk down the street with your head held high, not worried about women clutching their purses or people thinking you're gonna steal something. I don't get that. And I don't think Jamal has ever expressed it in that way. It's really cool to see Jamal grow into this person and him take ownership over himself and his mistakes. I think one of the funniest things, to go back a little bit, is after Devin divulges all this stuff and he talks about this is what happened, and then Jamal says, so I'm not allowed to change my mind.
It's so human nature of wait, so I can't be imperfect.
Right. Yeah, I just wanted to say that. I wanted to put that in the space. But now let's move on to the next part of the episode where we have this game night. And if you are black in America, I'm going to say 8 to 9 times out of 10, you have a game night with a group of friends. And it's almost religious in a sense. It's like this fellowship and this communion of people. And in episode 5, Saeed says, black people should have their own curated spaces for them. So the question is, when Devin enters the space, is your reaction, Saeed? I'm asking Saeed. Saeed, is your reaction premeditated, or is it like a pinch and ouch once you see him? Or is this how you would be with anybody? Because you know, game nights can get a little heated.
Yeah. I think that Saeed wants to put his best foot forward, ultimately. I think he genuinely wants love for his friend. I think that his friend has never been in a relationship before. He wants the best for him. But that same conflict that Jamal has, Saeed has. And it's like, you're walking into my house, my comfort zone. We're playing this game that we play the way we play it. We say nigga. I don't want to change how I am. Saeed has already had a couple of drinks in him. So when he sees this white man walk through the door, the first thing he sees is just white man. It's just like, he don't even see Jamal. He just sees this white man in his apartment. And I think it's probably one of the first times Saeed has ever had a white person in his space. And he's like, now I'm forced to be nice to him. And then he talks like, we're going to be great friends. And it's like, okay, I need to get the fuck up out of here before I say some slick shit.
Right.
And as the night progresses, I think that Saeed is the type of person that he don't know how to keep his mouth closed. However he's feeling, it just kind of comes out. So, and he got drinks, and his people are around. He's in his comfort zone.
Right.
He's aggressive. Not every black person know when you play Uno, shit get hot. Okay.
It's personal.
Shit get hot.
And then don't talk about spades. Don't talk about spades, child.
Notice B is not playing any of these games. She's like, I'm not here to fight. I'm here to make drinks, get chips.
V is the peacemaker.
Absolutely.
Oh no, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that like feminine energy in this space is so important.
Makai and I talked about it's very important to have and to acknowledge.
It's so important in all of its range, right? It's so important to have that. But you say it's like, I ain't fucking with this white nigga.
Oh, all right.
And then you come in, you don't know how to play the game. Now you slowing me up. He's like, all right, now.
There's a pace. There's a rhythm.
You gotta have the rhythm now.
There's a rhythm.
And don't come here trying to change rules, Isaiah.
Oh my God! And then we meet. Oh, how could I forget? We meet Isaiah, who shameless plug is played by my very talented little brother, my real life little brother Elijah Dawson. His middle name is Isaiah, and that's where we got the name from. And he just comes and just kind of like. He brings an energy that is just like
of fire.
Oh my gosh! I remember the first time we did the read through, and here, right before he said his first line, my heart was like, doo, doo, doo. I was like, please don't mess up, please get it together. And he just slayed, and I just watched everybody's face, and I was like, that's my brother.
Yeah.
Great.
We were stitches on the Zoom rehearsal.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. Like brings such a great energy to the show that's so needed. So he's been a great friend in our show.
Yes. I'm excited to see where they go season 2.
Yeah.
And then the end of this episode, we have all that drama between Saeed and Jamal and Devin, and Saeed runs Devin out, and then we have this really beautiful moment between D and V, and they're dancing. And then we have on the either side, Anthony and Raymond, and they're looking at each other, and Raymond's like, this could be us. And they have this moment, this connection, and Anthony evades. Anthony evades again, right? So then we fast forward, they're leaving the place, and Raymond kind of gives him an ultimatum. He's like, look, it's been 4 months.
Yeah. It's
been 4 months, dude, and I've played by your rules. What do you want? What's going on? And then I guess we find out next episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of The Smoke Sesh. We'll see you next week. Tune in on Slay TV Monday nights. Bye.
Later, y'all.